Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. I am in the state of Tennessee in Zone 7B. And today, welcome to my kitchen. It is cold outside, y'all. I think the high was like 40 today, and it's supposed to get down to 28 tonight. So I was gonna do some stuff in the tunnel, but we ended up having company most of the day, or getting ready for that. And so by the time they left, it was about to be dark and cold, and so I decided to just come on in the house. And so I'm actually cooking dinner, but I'm also going to try something new. So I thought I would turn on the camera and take you along with me. So for those who are new here, I did a video probably a couple of weeks ago, and I was in the kitchen making pie crust, and I made homemade hoagie rolls. And in that video, you saw how nervous I was, but it turned out great. So it built my confidence up a little bit. I'm in the kitchen today trying another bread recipe with yeast, not sourdough. We're gonna see how it turns out. So I got a little bit more confidence, but I'm still nervous. So to kind of give you the history, I have not had a lot of experience with making bread. I've tried yeast bread over the last 3 or 4 years in all different ways. I've tried it, and my husband bought me a bread maker, which is like supposed to be the easy no-fail proof method. It did not work right. The bread maker was fine. I guess it was just me. I could not get a bread that I liked. Either the taste was good and the texture was off, or the texture was good and didn't have taste. So they could have just been I didn't have a good recipe. I'm not really sure. So I've tried it in the bread maker. Then we went to, we were in Europe. My husband was over there preaching a few years ago. And a lady, that one of the wife of the person who invited us over there, she made and baked bread for us every single day. And so I got re-inspired, re-intrigued, like I gotta learn how to make bread, right? She gave me her recipe. But the thing is that some of the ingredients that she used, not that you can only get them in the UK, but it was hard for me to find the specific flour that she used, right? So anyway, I came and I tried it again, and it was almost right, but the texture wasn't right. Okay, so then I got rid of the bread maker, and I was like, let me try to do it myself, right? Something was off. So again, I don't know if it's the recipe, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's a combination, but that's my history with bread making. So about a year or so ago, I ventured into sourdough, which everybody, again, there are people who do yeast bread that are intimidated by sourdough. But y'all, I got the sourdough. I made my own sourdough starter. I got it right on the first time. And I've been making sourdough for over a year now. I have my same starter. I usually make sourdough bread every single week. So I got that. And if you want to know how to do a sourdough starter, I do have a video about how to do a sourdough starter. But when I was looking through my videos, I realized I've never done a video on me making sourdough bread. I only did the sourdough starter. So if y'all see me talking funny, I have aligners in that I just got. And so I'm trying to get used to them. And they got to stay in my mouth like, I don't know, 20 something hours a day. So I'm not spitting on the camera. So, I mean, but if I feel like I'm talking funny. If that's it, just bear with me until we get this transition right. But anyway, what was I saying? On the sourdough. If you feel intimidated by sourdough, like your girl got that. Like I could teach sourdough, no problems. So if you want to see a video of me doing the actual sourdough bread, I'm happy to do it. Of course, it's over a day process, but I'm happy to do it. And I've already done a video about how to do a sourdough starter. But today I'm making yeast bread because one, I don't have time to do sourdough and we're out of bread, which I don't like to be in this situation. I try not to be in the situation, but we're in the situation. We're out of bread. So I need to make some. And so I have to go out of town tomorrow. And so I can start the sourdough tonight, but it has to proof overnight and do a bulk rise. But tomorrow I won't be here to bake it in enough time to where it's not overproof. Like it would still bake, but I don't like the way it tastes when I do it that way. So yeast bread is quicker. So that's one of the benefits of yeast bread is that it's quicker. It does not take as long. With sourdough, it's healthier for you, but it does take longer. So that brings me to my next point. The other reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to increase my skills when it comes to bread. I want to be able to bake bread, rolls, French bread. Like, I want to be able to do it all, because I think that is a skill that once I have it, I mean, what? I can bake bread for my family, and you don't have to rely on the grocery store. So I got more to say, but let's go ahead and get this started so that it can be percolating, and then we'll come back and we'll talk. So what we're doing today is we're just making a basic sandwich loaf bread. I have a recipe. We're gonna try it and see what happens. So I got my handy little recipe here, and this actually makes 2 loaves. I was gonna try to just only do 1 loaf because I wanna see if I like it and if I can do it. But when I tried starting to do the math and halving, my brain, not today. So we're just gonna do it as is and get us 2 loaves. And if we like it, great. If we don't, we'll just keep trying. Okay, so it says, and I'm using my KitchenAid mixer. It says to, and I have the dough hook on here. It says to go ahead and start with 3 cups of flour. So we're gonna do that. So let me get, I had a measuring spoon. Oh, here we go. Another thing, y'all. Thank you. I love y'all. I do. Because y'all keep me on top of things. So in my bread video, somebody commented, several people commented and said, Barbara, did you know that there are dry measuring cups and liquid measuring cups? Liquid measuring cup, dry measuring cup. Y'all, I didn't know. Now, when I saw the comment, I had just found out because a friend of mine who is a chef, she did a reel on Instagram talking about the difference between dry and liquid measuring cups. Y'all, I did not know that. And I feel dumb, no, I don't feel dumb. I just felt like, man, I'm uneducated because I did not know. So if you don't know, there's a difference between a dry measuring cup and a liquid measuring cup. Who knew? So y'all got my dry measuring cup to do my flour. But I did not know until I saw that reel the week before Thanksgiving. And then you guys commented on my video. And I had dry measuring cups, but I just use them interchangeably. I'm like, hey, okay. So 3 cups. So that's 2. And let me know if you didn't know either, because that'll make me feel a little better. You know what I'm saying? But maybe all of y'all knew, and I just didn't know. Anyway, 3 cups of flour. And then we got our salt, which is 2.5 teaspoons. So, okay. And then it says the yeast, which is 1.5 tablespoons of instant yeast. Y'all, I feel all grown up because this is active dry yeast. I get this from Azure Standard. I'm opening it up now. I feel real grown because I think this is different than using like them Fleshman's packs. That's what I used before. Those instant whatever. I don't know. This just feels like real grown because we're gonna let it get bubbly. I feel grown for real. Like for real. Okay, let's see if we can get the package open. And then I had this in the freezer because somebody told me that keeping your yeast in the freezer helps it to stay longer. Is that true? Somebody told me that, so I did it. Okay, this package don't want to open. Okay, scissors work. We'll just have to, oh, it's in the bag. Perfect. So this can just go right back in my freezer. I was thinking I was gonna have to put it in something. And so for yeast, we need 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. This 1.5. Okay. And then it says sugar. 1/4 cup of sugar. So we're gonna eyeball this because I don't feel like getting another one. Okay, so we got the sugar, and then add the water and the oil. So it should be warm water, my water has cooled off because I was yapping my mouth so much. Let me go get some more warm water. Okay, so I have a thermometer. Let me go ahead and put this in here before it cools off anymore. So that was 2 3/4 cup. And then it says 1/4 cup of a neutral flavored oil. Okay, so we're pouring the oil in here. And it says to mix. Now, I am assuming that I'm just mixing with a spoon. I don't think it means mix it with the dough hook. What do y'all think? See, that's why this bread thing, y'all, I'm the kind of person, I need some precise instructions to let me know that I'm doing it right. And then from there, I can take it from there. But let's just, here. Let's just put it on a low setting and just see what happens. Okay. It says, let the batter rest for 10 minutes. The yeast should be bubbly. So we're going to put on a timer for 10 minutes and come back and see if it's bubbly. Let's pray it is. Okay, y'all. It's been 10 minutes. Is that bubbly? I mean, I see bubbles, so I'm going to say it's bubbly. But I guess I was expecting something different. We're going to keep going with it and just keep going with the recipe. I guess we'll see if it's going to rise. So we'll just keep going. I know y'all talking about me, okay? But look, this is how you learn. And again, what I'm showing you, I'm being very vulnerable. I'm showing you I don't know what I'm doing. But the thing is, I'm going to keep trying until I get it. I've been trying this for some years. Now, I've probably tried bread probably 5 or 6 times. So in a 3 or 4 year period, it's not like I've been trying every day. I mean, I would hope I would have it by now. But the thing is that I have been trying. This is not my first time, and I'm determined I'm going to get it. So it looks bubbly. So let's go what's next. So the whole recipe calls between 6.5 to 8.5 cups. We've already put 3 in. So I'm going to start with 4. I'm going to start with 4 and go from there. Now, what I do know, especially from working with sourdough, is depending on the temperature in your house can affect it. So let's lock this in. I'm just going to do it. I feel like, I'm switching subjects, but I feel like with the KitchenAid, there's not enough space to get the doggone flour in here. Like, they should make the bowl wider. I have a 4.5 quart. I think the biggest they have is a 5 quart. And I don't know that half a quart is going to make that much of a difference, but I feel like I can't get in here. I'm sorry. I was trying to show y'all. I feel like I can't get in here. Okay, that was 2 cups, so let's do 2 more. Do y'all feel like that with your KitchenAid? Or something wrong with mine? I just feel like it's hard to get in here. You know, and get the stuff in when the thing is down. Add this one. It's supposed to all come together and then start pulling away. So it's doing something. Let me see if I can take you off and show you. So here's the thing. Okay, so we're at 7 cups of flour. It is coming into a ball. It looks dry to me. So to me, I'm like, do I add more flour? Is that going to make it come into a ball even more? Or have I added too much, or is this just the right amount? This is the part that I don't know. Is how do you know if it needs more flour? Now, I'll figure if it was runny like, then I would add more flour. But I'm thinking I don't know, my intuition is telling me to add more flour. So let me do that. Okay, I added a 1/2 cup more. Y'all, help me. So it's coming together in a ball. It's not completely pulling away from the side. So am I supposed to help it and put the spatula in there and help it come away from the sides, or we're supposed to do it on its own? And does this mean I've added too much flour or not enough? See, it comes into a ball like that. Then, okay, it's coming away from the sides. I see that. Okay, it's pulling away. And it said knead for 2 to 3 minutes. Do I count the kneading once it starts pulling away and it's supposed to be away from all the sides? I don't know. Okay, I finished adding the rest of that cup of flour. So now we're up to 8 cups. And it's definitely, when I added more, it's coming away from the sides and the bottom more. So I'm going to add maybe a little tinge more. Okay, y'all. I don't know. We got up to, if you can see that, we got up to almost 8.5 cups of flour. Well, almost 9. The dough is smooth and supple, and that's what it said it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna get my bowl out, and then I have my bread bowl. I'm gonna put it in, and my bread bowl, I greased it or sprayed it so that it doesn't stick, because that's what the recipe said. So I'm just gonna plop it in here. It definitely looks like dough for sure. This is all part of my hard work. So this is what it looks like. You can see that there. And then I'm just gonna cover it with some with either a towel or plastic wrap and let it rise for an hour. So I'll check back in an hour. Let's see, hope it rises. Okay, y'all, I'm back. It's been an hour. You can tell by my reaction that we have great success. Will you look at this? Y'all, that's how big my bowl is. You can see I ain't playing with some little bitty bowl. It rolls all the way to the top. Confidence meter just went up a little bit more. Okay, so now we're gonna, am I supposed to flour this? Hold on, I'm getting too excited. Let's see. Okay, it says punch down the dough. So we're gonna do that. See that there, it's going down. And then we're gonna divide into 2 equal pieces, because remember, this is making 2 loaves. So I'm just taking my bench scraper and dividing the dough. Then I'm going to spray my pans. I'm using 2 different kind of pans. This is how I normally bake my sourdough bread in, but I only have 1 of these. I got 2 of these, but I figured I would do both so I can see what it looks like and see if there's any difference. So okay, then what else did it say? Place the dough, okay, grease the pans, press each piece of dough into a thick rectangle about 8 inches long, roll it up, pressing on the seams and pinching the final seam together. See all the instructions? Okay, so the dough feels really good, like really good. So, okay, it says to press it into a rectangle. And then roll it up. Okay. And y'all, I know y'all talking about me. Okay, the seam probably does need to be heated like I do with sourdough. So I'm rolling it up more into a log shape. Okay, that looks better. Let me show you. That looks better. Okay, then we're just gonna plop it in there like that. I'm gonna redo this one. I'm so busy, thinking about it saying do a rectangle. I'm like, okay, let me just move it over like that. And then I'm just gonna roll it up like I normally would. Yep, like I normally do sourdough. And then just elongate it into like a log. Like that, like that, and try to get it as smooth as possible. If this is a mistake, I'll be able to see my mistakes. So this is what it looks like. Then I think we just cover it and let it rise one more time. Let's do that. We got our plastic wrap we had before. So we can just use the same plastic wrap. I'll get one more piece. Oh, I sprayed it in the wrong place. Okay. So I'm gonna check in at like maybe 30, 45 minutes and we'll see what's going on and then we'll go from there. Okay, y'all, we had success. So this is after an hour. You can see that it rose is right to the rim of the pan. I was so excited. So you see me putting them in the oven. They're gonna go in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And then I'm setting the timer now for the oven. And then I'm gonna bring you back and let you see the final product. Okay, y'all, this is the moment of truth. Look at my beautiful bread. Fresh out of the oven. I rubbed some butter on top just to give it that shine and that gloss. So this is the pan that I normally use for sourdough. You can see how the shape is a little bit different. And this is the other pan that I use. I don't know which one I like the best. I'm used to this, but I think I like the way this looks. Yeah, it would be good if I had like two that size. So we normally go through a loaf of bread in a week, like for sandwiches, toast, and things like that. So I probably should have not put butter on the second one if I was gonna put it in the freezer. So I don't know how that's gonna go over, but maybe I'll give one away to someone. But y'all, I did. So the only thing left now is to taste it. But I mean, how can it not taste good? It looked good. It looked good. It looked good. OMG. So excited. Y'all, my confidence just went up 1 more meter. Oh, and yeah, I changed shirts. I took a shower and then I just changed shirts to come back and do this video because it's almost bedtime. But I had to let you see it. Y'all, I'm so excited. And this was easy. Easy peasy. And so again, going back to the top of the video, why I said I was doing this. 1, we're out of bread in the whole house. 2, I'm gonna be out of town tomorrow, so I don't have time to kind of babysit the sourdough. 3, I'm trying to get my skills together on this yeast bread. And so this was a good time to try it. I still like sourdough for the health benefits. It's good for your gut and things like that. And typically we don't eat just like, you know, white bread. Now I made this recipe as the recipe said, because I always like to do something the first time according to the recipe, especially when I'm not familiar with it and I'm not confident. I do it the first time as the recipe. So I know, okay, can I do it like that? Then I can go in and add my own flair. So like this time I use cane sugar. The next time I'll try to use honey. And then I think I'm gonna try maybe using maybe a cup of whole wheat flour to kind of make it a mixed and not just plain white bread and see how that does. I don't know how that'll affect the rise, texture, taste, and all that. But that's how you learn. You got to experiment. But before I did all that, I wanted to just do it this way. So this is not traditionally what we eat. But again, it's going to come through in a pinch because we don't have any bread in the house. And it beats going to buy some bread from the store that tastes like trash, okay? Homemade bread, you cannot beat it. Here's my point. I am trying to up-level my skills, and I want to encourage you to up-level your skills. Now, you all already may know how to bake bread. You may be a beast at baking bread. You may know how to do yeast and sourdough. So you up-leveling your skills may be something in the garden, or it may be doing another process. I want you to think about what is it that you know that you want to learn, that you've been putting off, or that you've tried and tried and tried and you have not gotten the product that you wanted and you know in your heart you want to try it again. I want you to think about what that thing is. And I want you to put it down in the comments. That's the first part of holding yourself accountable. And I want you to commit to mastering that skill and learning that skill. There's no timetable. You don't have to report to me. This is just to encourage you, to inspire you, and to motivate you. If there is something that you want to learn or something that you tried that you haven't gotten it, I want to encourage you to keep doing it until you get it. right? It may be cake decorating. It may be flower. Like, I got a whole list of stuff I want to learn. I want to know how to arrange flowers. I want to know how to decorate a cake. Like, certain skills that either just interest me or that I feel like as a woman, a wife, a mother, or just in my own kitchen, I want to be able to do some things and not have to rely on something else. Think about when we had the pandemic. Think about when there is an ice storm. What are the first things to go in the store? Bread, milk, eggs, water, and then probably rice and flour. If I had to guess, those are like the top 5 or 6 things that are out of stock when there's a snowstorm in an area where there's not, like in our area, we don't get snow a ton. So when snow comes, it's like, okay, everything shuts down and people just go to the store and panic. Right now, if you're in somewhere where it snows all the time, that's not your story. But here, that's what happens. But think about what happens in those situations or in the pandemic. What are the things that go first, right? Milk, water, eggs, that whole thing. So be thinking about whatever that is. Do you know how to replicate it at home? Do you know how to make it? Do you have a source for it, right? When you don't have power, what do you do? All of those things, again, think about what things can you do, can you learn to be more sustainable, not have to rely on the grocery store, not have to rely on, the things that are a comfort for us. Doesn't mean that you can't have them, but do you know how to survive and do you know what to do when those things are not present, right? So if there is no bread in the store, if I have some flour and water, guess what? I can make my family some bread. And if I can make bread, I can make rolls, I can make muffins, I can do a lot of different things. Now, I'm adding to my arsenal yeast bread and working with yeast. Understanding what does the dough feel like? Like, I had a lot of questions as I was doing this. Am I doing it right? Is it supposed to be sticky? Is it supposed to be smooth? Is it supposed to be supple? Like, what is it supposed to be? Well, you don't know until you get your hands in it and do it. So, I ain't no expert, but I got some bread. I got some bread today, and I guarantee you it tastes good. You know what? Let us slice some. Let us slice a piece and see what the inside looks like. Shall we? We shall. Okay. Now again, hopefully this ain't gonna fall apart. It's been about, 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, it's hot. Y'all, it's hot. This is for demonstration purposes. Look at that. That's some good old, again, because I'm not holding it right, I didn't get my little knife all the way down. Okay, that's the end of the piece right there. But that's only because I didn't press down on my knife on the wire rack. That's a perfect piece of bread. The texture is soft on the inside. Yeah, look at that. Do you see that? Looks so good. I'm so excited. Now, how much a loaf of bread costs you in the store? I think right now it's probably between $3 and $4. It don't taste like nothing. Not when you've had homemade bread, right? So think about if you have a family with kids, this was much quicker than sourdough. So all in all, it took about 2.5 hours. So an hour for the first rise, an hour for the second rise, 30 minutes in the oven. That's 2.5 hours. Okay, and then to prep all the stuff, let's just give it another 15 minutes. So in 2 hours and 45 minutes, you can have bread for your family. 2 loaves of it with this recipe. If you got some little kids running around who want some grilled cheese, peanut butter and jelly, sandwiches, toast for breakfast, you in there. You in there. So, thank you guys for joining me on another adventure in the kitchen. My confidence meter just went up, right? And yours can too. I just want to encourage you to try anything that you've tried before that you still want to learn. Put it down in the comments. I would love to know. And if you're new here and this was your first video, thank you so much for watching and thank you for being here. And I would love it if you would subscribe. Remember, all of us, gardening is a journey. This is part of it. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.